Why, howdy, partner! Part of what I'll share with you today might help prevent you getting into a fight with your boss and thus keeping your job. And that's pretty cool, isn't it? Welcome back to the Team Recruiting, where we share insightful and thought-provoking content that can help you shape your recruiting career. So let's check out our first piece of content of the day. Crisis means that you can worry less about your candidates and that right now we're actually in an employer's market, right? Right? For the millionth time?
No.
And louder for the people in the back. No, no, no. No.
Approximately 10 hours later.
No. Tell me if you can relate to this. Your boss, well, they're in their office. They're picking up their hiring manual from 2008 and they're dusting it off and getting ready for a very long session of candidate ghosting. Maybe they even think that it's okay to ask job applicants to fill in 28 pages of irrelevant information for them to apply to a very normal job. But you, my friend, you're frustrated, you're exasperated by this because you know how relevant candidate experience is today in this market. And so we're gonna help you make an argument that's so strong that your boss can never ever defend the practice of treating candidates poorly again. And I can promise you it doesn't involve physical violence. But first, we read why hiring during COVID is different than in previous downturns. And in this article, Atta Tarki, Tino Sanandaj, and Bert Francis spotted at least 4 anomalies that differentiate this crisis from the previous ones we experienced. The first part of this series of anomalies has to do with the unemployment rate. See, it rose more in the first 2 months of this coronavirus crisis than it did during the first 2 years of the Great Recession. But it took 2.5 years to have it lowered again in the previous crisis, whereas now it was going back to where it was within 4 months. The second pointer has to do with the fact that because of health risks, now a lot of those positions that require physical presence are being left unfilled. And what is happening right now is that the employers are increasing salaries to make sure that they get more candidates and, they can fill the role. And that's odd, right? And then this, many Americans at the moment are moving because of COVID or because of economic support they can get from their families. And this is causing a geographic mismatch between the job vacancies and the talent, meaning that more roles are left unfilled. And then this, in 2001 and in 2008, the number of job openings quickly dropped to below 4 million. But now in June, we saw an increase to 5.9 million, which then rose to 6.6 million job openings in July. And basically, we see unprecedented high unemployment rates, but also unprecedented high numbers of job openings, which is really an anomaly. Now, this is nothing but a sharp curve on a racetrack. And this is a time where your business can actually pass those companies that you've been competing with for talent all along. So as usual, the trick is make your candidates feel appreciated so that you can keep on attracting that top-notch talent you need to succeed. On to the second piece of content of today. We read 10 creative job posts and ads that will inspire yours. So you have a vacancy to fill, but how do you distinguish yourself from the flood of job posts that are out there on the internet right now? Samantha McLaren's article shows a few cool ideas that you can apply to your own case. Point number 1 is change it up and approach new platforms. And this is exactly what Waste Creative did. See, they wanted to approach a larger, fresher, younger talent pool. And what they did is they recreated their London office inside the game Animal Crossing. What a better way to make yourself noticeable and actually approach a different type of talent than you did before. Point number 2 is a little humor never killed nobody. So if your employer brand allows it, why not be lighthearted in your posts? Let's take a look at what Bud Light did.
We know a hard seltzer is only as good as it memes, and unfortunately, our memes are trash. We need someone who can change that for us, someone who can pull us through the pits of cringe, someone who knows how to use the lasso thingy in Photoshop, someone like you. Please help us, please.
See what they did there? This is also, by the way, a fresher way to encourage people from different backgrounds to apply to your vacancy. And since it's really funny, it's going to be shared a lot more. And point number 3 is letting the world know how much you encourage and love it when people bring their whole selves to work. And Atlassian did a great job here tying diversity and inclusion as a commitment of the company with their recent ad. See, hobbies are a really important part of our personal lives. And our difference in backgrounds and experiences just make us stronger. So Atlassian not only acknowledges this, but also shares with their candidates that they know that you are more than your job. And point number 4 is relieve anxiety. In a world in which mistakes seem intolerable, McDonald's, well, they're just opening their arms to welcome fresh talent. And this is exactly what they did with the McMistake. Get it? All in all, your job posting will only be fabulous if it conveys the necessary information and also showcases your company culture. So seriously, think about it. On to the Candy Crash. Candy Crash. You know it. The more barbaric your treatment of candidates, the more demonic their reviews on your Glassdoor page. So we explored the dark side of the internet, and on Glassdoor we found this nasty review that we're gonna share with you today. Shout out to a bully company we won't name. Now, why would you think that it's okay to mock your candidates for their accent, and even more so to keep on interrupting them all the time? But okay, the roleplay part? Can we take a minute and look at what they said about your company about that? They wanted me to be in a million weird situations and speak to them as if they were the customer. Imagine that I am the customer and that I came, took off my pants, and showed you my naked bits. What would you do as a manager? Got anything to say about this? Please leave a comment in the section below. We'd love to pick your brains. Thank you for watching this episode. Remember that if you want, you can subscribe to our newsletter so that you get access to the episodes 48 hours before anyone else. You can do that by going on start.com/newsletter or checking the link below. Thank you for watching The Tea on Recruiting. Take care and see you soon.